name is Selena and I'm here to do a book haul. So these are the books that I bought in the month of March. So March I kind of caved in. I went on kind of a, I don't know. I bought a lot of books is what I'm saying. I bought a lot in the month of March. More than I was really ever thinking I would. I don't know. No excuses. No excuses. I bought a lot of books. There. I did. And so here we go. I think I'll show you the books that I was given first. A coworker of my father watched my videos and gave me a bunch of Patterson books. So I have Honeymoon, then I got Run for Your Life, Lifeguard, and the same coworker also gave me a Mary Higgins Clark book, Two Little Girls in the Blue. So I've never read any of these authors, Jane Patterson or Mary Higgins Clark. So I'm going to decide which one I want to read first and try them out. This was the first time one of my viewers has ever given me a book, so I'm super excited. Thank you very much. Thank you very much. Thank you very much for giving me those books. I was given Jonathan Strange and Mr. Norrell by Susanna Clark, and this was given to me by a former coworker. I previously have left one position and moved to a new job, and when I left, one of my coworkers, good friend, who also watches my videos, hi Marcus, gave me this book and said that I could keep it. First he was lending it to me, and then when I was leaving and I was going to give it back, he told me I can have it, so this was very exciting. So I'm really excited to have this in my possession. It is a clunker of a book, so I have to find a good chunk of time that I can just kind of sit and read and just kind of enjoy it. And I had asked my parents to pick up a book for me because I was still kind of under the delusion that I was in a book buying ban, and I saw a book at a used bookstore. I needed to have it, but I didn't want to spend my money on it because that would have broke my book buying ban. So I asked my parents to go get the book that I put on hold for me. It's mental. So basically, here's the book. It is Return of the Thin Man by Dashiell Hammett. I've not read any Dashiell Hammett books before, but I love the movie. The movie's the black and white Return of the Thin Man. Jimmy Stewart's in it, and I love Jimmy Stewart. I love him. I adore him. So I figured, why not read this? And I remember seeing this up and around at the end of last year, I think, and I was like, oh, maybe I should pick it up and read it, and it was in the used bookstore. It was like $3. It was hardcover. I had to have it. So then at another used bookstore, I picked up a couple other books. I picked up this Winnie-the-Pooh book, The House at Pooh Corner, which is very pretty and lovely. I love the little bees thingies flying around, so it's very nice. I also picked up Jim Butcher's Stormfront, which is part of the Dresden Files series. So I recently watched the Dresden Files on Amazon and Marathon, the first season. That's all there is the first season. Can I tell you, I adored this show. I wish there were more. I'm having a Firefly effect right now because it's the same thing as like all over again. You grow to love the story, the characters, and then they just drop you, right? Is anyone feeling me on this? I can't stand when TV shows do this. Anyway, so I just needed more Dresden in my life, and so I was like, okay, I have to go buy the books and read the books. So I bought Stormfront, and I'm going to be definitely reading this probably in the summertime, just trying to get in marathon a whole bunch of the Dresden File books. So, but I have Stormfront to start me off. Then I recently saw this author, I'm not sure, Gail Carringer, I think that's how, yeah, Gail Carringer, on an older episode of Sword and Laser, and so I picked up this Soulless. I've seen it around. I knew a couple people who had read it. I know that it takes place either during Regency or Victorian era, and it's kind of like a steampunk assassin type story. Other than that, I don't know much about it, but I just like the fact that she's like carrying a parasol, or maybe this is an umbrella. Maybe, okay, we'll call it an umbrella. So I picked up Soulless at Barnes & Noble, and it is a mass market paperback edition. I also recently picked up The Final Empire, which is book 1 in the Mistborn series by Brandon Sanderson. I picked it up because March, the Goodreads BookTube Buddy Reads group was reading this, and I've been wanting to read this for a while. My first Brandon Sanderson book was The Rhythmist. Absolutely adored that book, but that was for middle grade. And then I picked up the Mistborn series. This is not for middle grade. This is a mature work, but it is wonderful and well worth the read. I've already read it. Then at a used bookstore, I found The Bone Season by Samantha Shannon, and I love the cover. It just feels so awesome, and like this bluey purple and then the red spine. I think the cover is what drew me more than the story. So the story is about a girl who lives in the future, and she can like read people's minds or travel through people's minds. I'm not quite sure, but in a dystopian world, this is the problem, and obviously the problem has to be fixed, and there's the story. So hopefully I'll get to this soon. Not quite sure when I will get to it, but the cover is really pretty. And I was really blessed because I found Morgensterns' The Night Circus at a used bookstore for $3. It's a paperback edition, and a lot of people have loved and raved and gushed over this book, so now it's my turn to read it and love, rave, and gush. So I'm hoping I'm not hyping myself up too much for a better read than probably what it is, but I hope it's a good read. Then I picked up a nonfiction book, The Professor and the Madman, and I had shown this book maybe in February on a Friday Reads video, saying that I was going to read it. I just never got to it actually, but I do want to read it, and I had to return it back to the library because someone was requesting it. So I was really glad when I found this at Barnes & Noble, bargain price. So now I have my own copy, and I don't have to worry about returning it, and I can read this whenever I have time to read it. And it's about the creation of the OED, the Oxford English Dictionary, and one of the people who helped create the Oxford English Dictionary actually went insane. So this is kind of like that story. So that sounds exciting. So I am obsessed with the book S by J.J. Abrams, although I don't have it, but I am going to get it for my birthday. I know it. I'm believing that I'm going to get it. And so books that have like marginal notes and things like that, kind of like Night Film and S, I've been very interested in. And so I found this at Barnes & Noble. It was on sale. It's a paperback edition, and it is the selected works of T.S. Spivet, and it is by, I'm not sure how to say this, so I'm not going to. I don't know much about it, but I know that it's going to be turned into a movie soon, so I need to read it. But it has like all these notes and stuff on the inside and marginal things happening, and I think that that's interesting and fun. And I don't have many books like published like this. Like it's like a coffee table book, but it's a reading book. I don't know. That's intriguing me. The style, the size, because it's kind of squat but long. Okay. So then I picked up the Enchanted by Renee Denfeld, and it is about a woman who works in a prison. She works on death row, and I guess her job is to try to see if she can get a lesser penalty for the prisoners that are on death row. So instead of being sentenced to death, they're sentenced to life. But in her work, and I guess she meets and interacts with many different characters. Obviously, the type of people that you would think you would meet with working in death row, and there are either parts or the majority of the novel is told from the perspective of one of these prisoners who is very much into literature. So he keeps a journal of the comings and goings of the prisoners and the people that work there, and I just thought that sounded kind of interesting. I like the fact that it's gray. It's like gray with gold, like with the horses right here are gold and the lettering is gold. I don't have many great books, but I like it. Like it's sophisticated. And the last book that I want to show you is The Book of Jonah by Joshua Max Feldman. I've started this actually, and I'm hoping to finish this in the month of April. It is a modern retelling of the story of Jonah from the Bible, and it takes place in New York City. Well, at least it starts out in New York City, and then it travels elsewhere, and it follows a lawyer, and he is commissioned to do something that he doesn't want to do, and it's kind of like his struggles as fulfilling what he's called to do. So I liked the book. At first what drew me was the cover, and then after that I read the synopsis. I read it first on Goodreads, and then I saw it at Barnes & Noble, and I was like, I need to read this book. This is a contemporary. It's not dystopian. But yeah, it's just a modern retelling of the biblical story of Jonah. So this is why I don't give myself free rein to buy books, and I put myself on book buying bans. So I was good for the first 2 months of the year. 2 months of the year I did not buy a single book, but then I caved in March, and So yeah, maybe I'll do another book buying ban just to kind of slow myself down. Okay, well, let me know what books you guys bought recently. If you recently acquired any new books in the month of March, let me know down below. Love to hear and see what you guys got. Bye.